What's up, everybody? Let's Talk Jets Radio. Gonna try very hard not to make this one of those I told you so streams because for all the negative comments that I got, this is what I was worried about. And it doesn't start with the quarterback, but he was obviously not a solution. I don't think he is the solution going forward. I said it from the beginning. Zach needs a reset. He needs to sit, he needs to watch, he needs to learn. Now, was he the biggest problem today? Absolutely not. The offensive line hardly gave him a chance on any of those drives. The play calling was friggin' atrocious. The one time he did get in a rhythm was before the end of the first half. He was going up tempo. He was scrambling a little bit. He had to throw to Garrett Wilson before that. And then second half, what do? You come out, you take your time, you leave Dwayne Brown on a freaking island, like against the Cowboys' best defensive player. How do you not have a game plan for the two best players on the Cowboys? Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb. Those guys killed the Jets today. They're two best players. To me, that reflects coaching. So it all starts and ends with coaching. The defense came out completely flat, gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. I think that set the tone for the game. And I normally don't like doing this, but let's just go through some of the numbers right now because these are just staggering numbers when you really start to look at it. First downs, 26-12. Third down efficiency. Defense couldn't get off the field. At one point, it was 8-12, and then in garbage time, they got a few stops, so it ends at 9 of 18, still 50%. Jets, 1 of 10. Can't convert a third down. Again, that's what happens when you are one-handed. You can't move the ball when you're one-handed. Your ground game doesn't work when you're one-handed. Teams stack the box exactly like we said all week. They couldn't run the ball. They didn't have a running back with more than 10 yards. Zach Wilson was their entire rushing attack. Total plays, 83-46. Time of possession, 42-17. He turned the ball over 4 times. Zach's not a guy that's going to put the team on his back and win late if you're down. He's just not. You have no offensive line. The play calling was atrocious. There was no trickery, no gadget plays. McCole Hardman, where is he? No up-tempo after it worked. I don't get it. I don't get it. And the defense, again, this soft zone, when you're not even getting pressure as it is, I just don't get it. There's nothing about this game plan that made sense to me. I mean, you can go through some more of the numbers. I mean, penalties weren't so bad. Rushing yards, like I said, Zach had, 30 yards on the one drive before the end of the half. They finished with 64 rushing yards. That's supposed to be the strength of your team, the strength of your offense. You can't run the ball when you don't have a quarterback that strikes fear in anybody. So, yeah. You want to go down the list, defense, they were awful today. There's no defending almost anybody on that defense. Hardly heard Quinnen Williams. Sauce missed some tackles. You got a number of guys that were injured that came out of the game. Eccles with that stupid pass interference. I'm not even going to blame JFM for the roughing the passer before that. I didn't think that was, or at least I don't think that should have been called. But aside from the defense, aside from the coaching, aside from Dwayne Brown being terrible, you could also look at Joe Douglas and say, why is this guy in there right now? The best backup they could sign all offseason was Billy Turner? Are you kidding me? So again, to me, yes, it does come back to Zach. You want to say I'm being a hater? Fine, go ahead. But when your quarterback makes you one-handed, you can't run the football. When you can't run the football, and now you're in third and long every time, you're not going to stay on the field. Hence, 1 of 10 on third downs. And when your defense knows your offense isn't going to stay on the field, eventually they get tired, eventually they break. And they didn't even come out good anyway. So you could pass blame all around. You could blame the defense. You could blame Zach. You can blame the offensive line. You can blame the play calling, the coaching staff. Everybody deserves blame. But none of this is going to get better with Zach Wilson at quarterback. You want to say I'm too negative on him? Fine. I wanted to give him a chance. And giving him a chance meant him on the bench this year. Him watching, sitting, learning. Getting thrown right back into the fire a year after, not even a full year, after this exact same locker room revolted against him. And what's Hackett doing? He's getting his ass beat, and still there's no help for Dwayne Brown. You can't bring a tight end over? Nothing? Running back in the backfield? Nothing? How many times do we see empty backfield? No tight ends helping out. How many times do we see the same shit? Where were the halftime adjustments? They actually still had a chance after. As bad as they played for the first 20 minutes of this game, boom, you get the touchdown to Garrett Wilson. You get the ball, or you give up a score. You get it back. You put up a field goal. You're only down by 8 points at the half. You had a shot at that point. The Sauce Gardner drop pick 6, yeah, that was big. I don't think that completely changes the game. It gets them back in it for at least a few moments, but it wasn't going to change the outcome. This team got thoroughly outplayed by better players, period. So where do they go from here? I don't know. Zach's always struggled with the Patriots. It's going to be a shit show at MetLife next week. If this team shows up the same way that they showed up this week in the first quarter, they're going to get booed right out of the friggin' stadium. And this is the issue. You know, the people, again, that were calling me negative last week, the bar has obviously changed. You want to talk 8 wins, 9 wins, maybe 10 wins if everything goes right, that's fine. But if you think this quarterback is getting you to where we thought we were going a week ago, you're out of your mind. And even that now, even the 9 or 10 win mark, is that realistic? Is that honestly realistic? With a quarterback that still can't set his feet, that's still staring down wide receivers, like he almost got Garrett Wilson killed on the one interception. Like, this is the same shit that we've seen. How many under 50% completion percentage games are we going to defend? And yes, it falls on the coaching too. Get the ball out quick. Go up tempo. I can't say it enough. Do things to set this kid up for success so we can at least see if he can do it. But they're not helping him. He's not helping himself. The defense helped fucking nobody today. The offense helped nobody. This is a joke. Talk to you guys tomorrow night.